Hello, my fellow Retrotopians, and welcome to episode 133 of the Retrotopia podcast, and we are talking Super Mario Galaxy, which, if you did not know, was a video game before it was a hit movie. But before we get to that, we have a really fun intro this week. We got a lot of comments, and I'm excited to get into that. But before we even begin that, let's go through some things really quick here. Please rate us 5 stars and leave a comment. It really helps. Even if you don't think we're worthy of 5 stars, just give us 5 stars. And if you have some constructive feedback, let us know. But it really helps get us out there. And there are a lot more of you lately. So if you're new here, we really appreciate the listen and hope, maybe Super Mario Galaxy with the movie coming out, maybe this gets a bump and we get some more new, fresh listeners. And welcome if you are new, and we hope you stick around. We also have social medias, and you can find all of that stuff at linktree/Retrotopia. That's linktr.ee/Retrotopia. And what else is over at the Linktree? And what else do we have to offer, you might ask? You can go to retrotopia.dashery.com. Use the link in the description of this podcast. You can find our new merch store. We got some cool stuff there. Get yourself some Retrotopia booty shorts for this upcoming summer. Hopefully it's warm where you are. There's the Patreon. That's an important thing. Let's talk about that. What do you get when you join for free? There's a free tier. You can join and you can take part in our polls. We do polls every now and then. You can vote on the games we cover. You can chat with the host. That's us. That's me. You can write in about the game of the week, which this week is Mario Galaxy. You can write into the host for the 9-bit banter box, which we'll get to shortly. That's our comments and questions section. You get Quick Play, which is a short review series. That's every couple weeks we release those. And you get Retro Bites, 15 days early with an extra topic. And now featuring more Joe for, if you like that thing. That thing, meaning Joe. He's just an object. Sorry, Joe. If you like more Joe, then, go listen to Retro Bites. It's a good time. If you join at the Hero tier for just $2 a month, what do you get for that? Well, you get everything you get at the free tier, plus you get to select a game for one of the hosts to play and review on a quick play. That's always fun. And I got a couple coming up, so stay tuned for that. I just got to find time to record those. You get New Game Plus, which is our new game review series. Those come out periodically, not necessarily on a set schedule, but when we complete and record new games, you'll get those, and you get a shout out. That's cool, like our newest heroes. We have 2 this week. So welcome to the Retrotopia community. I Did Nothing Wrong and Topher Love. Thanks for joining and welcome. Have a great time and enjoy the rest of the intro here. Let's get things started with the general comments and questions section, which we call the 9-bit banter box. All right, our first comment comes from Brother Retro, who says, Sammy Dodger, what are the odds we see a Flyers-Ducks Stanley Cup extravaganza? If that happens, I might have to come to your neck of the woods and watch a game together. So my question is, where are we going? Local bar, chips and dip at your place, Chuck E. Cheese, wine and dine me, you beautiful oaf. Well, thank you. And also, Sammy Dodger wins. That is the best. Good on you for coming up with that one. And if you're new, we might have some more new listeners. The Jammy Dodger is the official cookie or biscuit, if you're from that side of the pond, of Retrotopia. So the last updated odds I saw had the Flyers and Ducks both at the bottom of the barrel as far as odds, but that would be a fun matchup. It would be like the Orange Cup. It would be really hard on the eyes. Lately, I'd say I like watching games at home. Usually I do something like play a game or something while I have it on my iPad, but there's no shortage of bars around here. You can't fart in any direction without hitting a bar, but there's a place with really good wings close by I haven't been to in a while. So, in the unlikely case, we get a Ducks-Flyers Stanley Cup final. You meet me there. Alright, Cyberhooli says, hey, sneaky simp sauce Sam. Ooh, that sounds gross. What are your 3 favorite genres and 3 least favorite genres of video games? I feel like I might have answered this one, but you know what? I'm going to answer it again because it might be different on a different week. And maybe you can fact check me, but I don't care. It's what I feel right now. Favorite, off the top, RPGs and strategy RPGs. I'm going to keep those in one category. So, your Fire Emblems, your Final Fantasies, your Dragon Quest. Sorry, I had hiccups there. Metroidvanias have become one of my favorite genres. I'd like to play more of them. And racing games. The more I think of it, it's kind of like hack and slash for me. I always think like, I don't really like hack and slash games, but like the last few that I played, I'm like, I might like hack and slash games. Same with racing. Like, if you were to say like racing doesn't jump off the page, but when I really think about it, I usually really like any racing game that I play. So I'm gonna throw racing in there. Least favorite, sports games. Not that I hate sports games, just that I can't get into like people that sink hours and hours into like a baseball game or a Madden or golf. I can't stand golf. I can't do golf. But sports games, they're just too repetitive for me, I think. FPS games, I've played a few lately and I've reviewed a couple on Quick Plays, and I don't hate them, but lately they just kind of make me anxious. So yeah, FPS games, and then cozy games. So I'm gonna I don't know, cozy games just in general. I'm gonna throw that out there, like Animal Crossing likes. If you're, I don't know what actual genre that is, but I just get bored. Like even I just mentioned this in the Discord today. Join our Discord. I'm having trouble getting into Pokopia, and it's like the highest rated Pokemon game on Metacritic, which is nuts. But yeah, just I don't know, just get kind of bored. So yeah, those are them, and they might not match what I said before, but that's okay. All right, the big deal says, all right, Sam, I'm calling your bluff from the God of War episode. What's it like living in the UK? While we're at it, answer for Brian on what it's like living in Canada. I don't know what this is in reference to. I can assure you I don't know what you're talking about. That's like a really horrible British into Canadian accent, sorry. Actually, we three hosts, Alan, Brian, and Sam, are not actually three different people. We're just three kids in a trench coat. So take that what you will. We're actually going to go see if we can get a bank loan. All right. Blaine the Hoagie Man says, all right, Sam, I am going to have you play 5 rounds of choose one, lose the rest. Jeez. Pick your 5 favorite bands now. Remember each one's entire discography. Now pick one album from each you want to represent the band best, and then each other album from each of those bands' discography disappears forever. Don't just pick bands you kind of like. Make this hurt. Whew. Oh boy. All right. Here is what I will do. I see I picked 5, and then as I was reading that, I thought of 2 more. So I'm going to give you, I'll give you 7 as a bonus. All right. First one I thought of was the Beatles, and I will pick Revolver and lose the rest, I guess. I will, Led Zeppelin, I will take Led Zeppelin 2 and lose the rest. That one also stings quite a bit. Blink-182, I will take Dude Ranch and lose the rest. That one also stings quite a bit. Tool, I will take Lateralis and I will lose the rest, which if you ask me on any number of any other day, I might say I want 10,000 Days, or I might say I want Anima, but I'm going to take Lateralis for now. And then 5th, I'm going to do Mastodon. I'm going to take Remission, and I'm going to lose the rest. Oh, this is painful, man, but I thought of a couple more. Alice in Chains. Oh no. I'm going to take Unplugged, and I'm going to lose the rest. That's a really tough one. And then I just thought of Nirvana. I would take Bleach, and I would lose the rest. So I gave you 2 bonus ones. You sick bastard. All right, thank you. That's a good one. I love those music questions. All right, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious says, What was your first impression when the Wii was announced? That's a really good question. Because we talked about this a little bit in the episode, but to be honest, I don't remember much of the Wii being announced so much as I remember when it actually came out. So I think by the time I was kind of aware that it was coming, the hype was already there. I was a sophomore in college at the time, so I remember it coming out, but I don't remember being so like, I wasn't getting gaming magazines at the time or anything. So the concept was really wild, and I think, you know, like the motion controls were just completely out of left field for anything else that was out at the time. So I just remember that and thinking that, like, oh no, this here comes the future of gaming, like the next. And then, you know, I think Sony and Microsoft both followed suit. Like, you remember the Kinect, and I think PlayStation had that weird, like, sort of motion control thing for the PS3, I think. It's just kind of funny that that's how we thought that was going to go. And yes, now motion controls are just kind of like folded into the gaming experience. Like the PS5 controller and the Xbox controller, I think, has motion controls. PS5 for sure. I don't play a lot of Xbox. And then, of course, the Switch and Switch 2 with the Joy-Cons, and kind of you can tilt and stuff like that. So, like, I kind of thought that, like, we're going to be, like, moving away from traditional controllers, and I really like how we've kind of come to, like, a happy medium where, you know, we have a controller that has some sort of haptic feedback, but not, you know, some sort of wacky, you know, weird glove thing, or, you know, some sort of bodysuit or anything. I'm glad we're where we're at. So it was important. It was a big step, but I'm glad it didn't completely take over our precious game space. Also, that 2 or 3 part episode of South Park where Cartman freezes himself to go forward in time to get a Wii, and he ends up far in the future. Science, damn you! That was a really funny episode. So I always remember that too. That was a big thing when the Wii came out. All right, Munchie says, Sam the Gaming Man, after listening to your love of Warcraft 2, it makes me wonder if you could make an RTS off anything in your life, what would it be? I work in a NICU and definitely think an RTS based off a hospital would be super interesting. Yeah, I guess that would be like a hospital sim, but like you could real time, like, make your doctors and nurses, you know, like, go do stuff and whatever. But first off, thank you for the work you do in the NICU. That's a very important job, and my youngest was born premature and spent her first month in an NICU, which, if you're not aware of what that is, it's a neonatal intensive care unit, and those people are heroes. So thank you, Munchie. And I tell you what, I'm not sure if you heard, but there is a very inhumane beagle breeding facility near Madison here in Wisconsin. It's called Ridgeland Farms, and we're going to put them on blast. Ridgeland Farms, you can go fuck. And they supply to big pharma and other shitty corporations that test on animals, specifically beagles. And if you're wondering why beagles are often tested on, it's for a really sad reason. It's because they have large litters of puppies, and because they're very friendly dogs and will not bite handlers, which is no reason to abuse them. So anyways, a few hundred beagles have been rescued so far, and I'm hoping that they just shut this place down 100%. But I think it would be fun to have a game where, like, beagles and humans team up to destroy shitty facilities like this and free beagles that are being tested on. And, like, you wouldn't necessarily, like, send your beagles in to be, like, you wouldn't want them to die or whatever, but, like, maybe the humans could get taken out or something. But, like, the beagles, like, you just, like, free more, and they just join your side and give you powers and shit. And they just run around and be cute. So, yeah, that's what I would do. Fuck Ridgeland Farms. I hope they get shut down. And I hope I get, we put in for adoption to see if one of the agencies that is fostering or sheltering some of these dogs, maybe we can adopt one. I would love to have another. So that'll be fun. Anyways, Philip Mouth with Farts says, Hi Sam, what game from your childhood that absolutely defeated you and you couldn't beat have you been able to go back and finish, and now you're proud to be able to put that feather in your cap? I have two, Legend of Zelda 2, Adventure of Link, and Super Castlevania 4 for the SNES. Both games that destroyed me as a child, I can now say I've beaten as an adult. Jeez, that's a tough one. Good on you for beating Castlevania 4 and Zelda 2. Those are hard games. Especially Zelda 2, because I think it's pretty cryptic. Like some weird random shit that you wouldn't think of. Kind of Simon's Questy, right? If you're speaking Castlevania. But anyways, I didn't beat a lot of games as a kid until we got into the PS1 N64 generation, because that's when I would have been around like 10 or so. But I would say probably I could get pretty far into Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 as a younger kid. But I would say those, since I have gotten older, I've beaten Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, but I didn't as a kid. And I also didn't completely beat it, but I got way further into Taz Escape from Mars, which is a game that I had, and I just, for whatever reason, I either just didn't read the manual or didn't figure out all the cool shit that you could do in that game, and that game is actually really underrated. We've got an episode on that one. It's a double feature, Tasmania and Taz Escape from Mars. Go back and listen to that one. Alan and I did. That's a fun double feature episode that we did. Those Looney Tunes games on the Genesis are actually pretty good. And I am also looking forward to adding Final Fantasy VIII to this list in a few weeks. We have that coming up, and I've never beaten it, despite having probably spent hundreds of hours on it over the years. So yeah, that's a great question. All right, Blue Yoshi 94 says, Sam, if you could turn Tapper into a different style of game and different graphics, what would you go with? Here's another game that we have an episode back in the archives. Quick play on Tapper that I did probably a couple of years ago now, but that's a fun game. I love Tapper. It's an old arcade game, but if I could give it different game style and graphics, I would turn it into a survival horror style game where you need to kick all the drunks out of your bar if they're closed. They're like all zombies, and you have to beat them up and kick them out because you've overserved them by shooting beers at them. Oh, those are fun. Thanks for the comments, everyone. And now we get to our game show of every week. Choose one, lose one.
Ladies and gentlemen, roll up and choose your power-up from the game of the week. You pick a power, we pick a consequence. It's choose one, lose one, the game where everyone's a loser.
All right, and as always, quick reminder, let's make sure to keep these related to Game of the Week, which we normally do. So we got a lot this week, so I did cut a couple. So I'm just going to kind of try to keep it to a few so we're not spending too much time here. But we love all the comments, so keep them coming. But yeah, if we get a bunch, we might have to cut some just for time's sake. But let's get into it. Rapid fire. Blue Yoshi 94 says, I want a Luma, not an actual one though, just a plushie. Well, okay, we'll let you get one plushie, but when you get home, you need to go through all the ones you don't play with and send some to donation. All right. Our new patron, I did something wrong, says, or I did nothing wrong. Opposite. I did nothing wrong. Our new patron says, all I want is to be able to ride Yoshi around in space. Are you sure that's all you want? You don't want a helmet or a spacesuit? Your head's going to pop like a pimple. Brother Retro says, just make 3D Mario games something I can enjoy so I can stop being a mark for 2D platforming. Okay, I giveth a love for 3D Mario games, and I taketh away your love for 2D gaming as a whole, and christen you Brother Neo instead of Brother Retro. Old Man Gamer says, I would like the ability to turn into a bee and sting people I don't like. Well, like an actual bee, your heart is in your stinger, or whatever makes bees die when they sting something, so choose your sting wisely, because you only get one. All right, Big Deal says, I'm famished. I need 1,000 star bits to curb the hunger pains. No problem. Oh, would you look at that? You turned into a brand new bathroom for the Comet Observatory. Munchie says, I want the ability to collect and shoot star bits to solve regular day problems. Sure, but as we mentioned at one point in the game chat, which you'll hear in a moment, When you're playing handheld mode on the Switch, trying to collect star bits by touching the screen, sometimes you end up shooting a couple off. So I'll say that you will sometimes unintentionally just fire star bits without intending to. Just imagine you're like you're like in a work meeting and just like shooting star bits all over the place. Oh boy, that'd be fun. Fill Up My Mouth with Fart says, I want space travel to be as easy as it is in this game, just being able to travel from planet to planet quickly with little to no cost. Don't need to be super rich to travel in space. Wow, you want something wondrous and fantastic to be available to the common people? Well, you, sir, must be a communist. Lock him up. Just kidding. That would be awesome, though. Yeah, could you imagine if we could just, like, travel around space if we wanted to? I'd love that. All right, I have 2 honorable mentions for Choose One, Lose One before we move on, because I don't know what to do with these, because I think they might be either physically impossible or I'm not smart enough to figure out how to answer these in a coherent fashion. So Blaine the Hoagie Man wants to be able to survive in a black hole, and Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious wants to be able to breathe in space, which I'm assuming no breathing apparatus, which I think is physically impossible since it's a vacuum. Thanks. Good luck. You guys stumped me. Thank you. Well, thanks for playing, everyone, and let's turn it over to Alan for this week's Gentleman's Interlude.
On a crisp autumn evening in 2007, the master toy makers at Nintendo EPD unveiled a wondrous tale for the Wii called Super Mario Galaxy. Guided by the imaginative Captain Yoshiaki Koizumi and watched over by the legendary craftsman Shigeru Miyamoto, the adventure first drifted into Japan on November 1st, 2007, before sailing across the stars to the United States on November 12th, and finally arriving in the United Kingdom on November 16th. Players everywhere opened their glowing white consoles like enchanted storybooks, ready to tumble into a universe stitched together from music, gravity, and stardust. Once upon a midnight among the stars, Mario received an invitation to the Grand Star Festival, where comets painted silver ribbons across the heavens, and tiny star creatures called lumas twinkled like living lanterns. But before the fireworks could bloom, the dreadful Bowser descended from the cosmos in a storm of iron airships, stealing Princess Peach's castle and dragging it into the endless night. Hurled into deep space, Mario awoke upon drifting planets no bigger than gardens, where gravity danced like a playful spell. One moment he ran upside down beneath mushroom cliffs. The next he soared between galaxies on rainbow trails of stardust. At the heart of this celestial sea stood the Comet Observatory, watched over by the gentle Rosalina, a mysterious guardian whose story carried both melancholy and wonder. To rescue Peach, Mario gathered power stars, hidden within haunted toy boxes, bubbling volcanoes, honeybee kingdoms, and clockwork skies. Each galaxy felt like a page torn from a child's dream book, strange, merry, and impossibly fast. And so, with courage in his cap and starlight at his heels, Mario leapt across the universe itself, proving that even the smallest hero can brighten the darkest sky.
All right, thanks, Alan, for that fantastic gentleman's interlude. And now we have 4 comments this week on the game, so let's get to those because we've got some love for this game, and it makes me happy because I like this game a lot. Brother Retro says, I really wish I enjoyed 3D Mario more. Other than Mario 64, I just can't get into them very much. This game is so critically. I think you meant to say critically acclaimed. That as a Mario fan, I'm doing myself a massive disservice by not at least sticking it out to the end. Yeah, I think it's worth a playthrough. So maybe give it a try, and maybe after hearing us talk about it, you'll want to dig into it. But yeah, definitely love this game. The Big Deal says, I remember this game being so revolutionary at the time, but for some reason, I've had a hard time revisiting it. I've started and stopped a few times, and honestly, have just felt the desire to play other stuff. Maybe it's the gravity mechanics, maybe it's the level design of hopping from planet to planet, or maybe I just prefer my Mario 2D, but this just didn't hit the same as it did back on the Wii. Yeah, you got a point there. I think I've played it on the Wii, and then I've also played it a couple times on Switch, and I think the controls on the Wii are a little bit tighter just because it's native to that hardware. The Switch does a serviceable job of as a port. I think it's more a port than a remaster, but yeah, sometimes the controls are wonky, but I don't know. I still like it. Blaine the Hoagie Man says, my favorite 3D Mario game. I remember when I was waiting at my house for my game to be brought to me and just sitting there reading the Mario Galaxy Player's Guide and enjoying looking at the Mario Galaxy coin I got. Oh, you got the coin? That's sick. Ripping around in space is incredible. The music is out of this world, and the gameplay can be frustrating, but it's a ton of fun. Yeah, sometimes the controls get a little crazy, but man, Blaine, if you still have that coin, like snap a little picture of that and put it in the Discord. That'd be fun to see. I think I remember those coins, but obviously I don't have one. Really neat stuff. I always love stuff like that. When games came with I suppose they do now, but box standard games used to come with like little shit like that sometimes. That's fun. Munchie, our last comment for Super Mario Galaxy says, oh man, I love this one. This is one of those games that just looks and feels awesome. I remember wondering when it was announced how a Mario Galaxy game in space would work. Then that first time you jump off a planet was such a cool feeling. Yeah, it's definitely a freaking awesome. I mean, I mentioned it at some point in the game chat, but you throw anything in space and I'm all for it. So let's get to it. Released in 2007, developed and published by Nintendo for the Wii, and it's also been re-released on the Switch. Let's go ahead and get to this chat. All right, welcome back, everyone, and here to talk Super Mario Galaxy for the Nintendo Wii. We have my cosmic princess, Brian, and my weird little star person that lives in my sweaty hat for some reason, Alan. How's it going, guys?
Bit cramped in here, not gonna lie. It smells nice though.
Smells
How come Brian gets to be
Oh,
the
definitely
prince?
like Axe body spray.
Yeah.
Brian,
Or
I think
Lynx,
you won
if you
out on
will.
this one today. Cosmic
You won.
Princess.
Cosmic princess.
Yeah, I know. I'm feeling very pretty. Thanks, Sam. I was feeling a little down today, but now I'm flicking my hair and
You're
stroking
always,
my beard just like a real
You're
princess.
always pretty.
It was between that and Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, and
I will kill you.
but one of you is definitely going to be the star that lives in the sweaty plumber's hat.
I'll take
God, that
bullet.
must be a ride.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Anyways, Super Mario Galaxy. What? Yeah. Did you guys play this when it first came out?
I thought I didn't, but it turned out I actually have played it before because as soon as I saw the opening cutscene there, it all came flooding back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Yes, to answer your question.
it
When?
is-
Don't remember.
It is memorable. Did you have a Wii, or did you just kind of like play with friends? Or
No, I had a Wii.
you did. Yeah.
Like, I didn't have friends. I had a Wii.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's
Mutually
usually one or the other,
exclusive.
right?
Yeah, yeah. You can't have both. You can't have a Wii and friends. That's just greedy.
No, because those friends are gonna bogart your Wii, fuckers.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, jackasses.
Yeah.
I'm going to prove myself wrong now and just say, because I had neither a Wii nor friends back in the day. But I was gifted a Nintendo Wii well after the fact, way after its heyday. I think my sister-in-law was getting rid of her kids' one. And, you know, just like everyone else in the family, they just throw video games and consoles at the weird podcasting hermit here. And
Oh no! Please
yeah,
don't.
oh no.
All right, leave the Wii by the door. He's going to come out, but don't spook him. There's Alan. There's Alan. Shh, 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 shh.
Leave a cup of
And
tea
poking
as well.
out the door, sniffing the air for predators.
Yeah, well, sniffing for Wii. I'm pretty sure that Super Mario Galaxy came with it, because it's kind of one of those games that who didn't have Super Mario Galaxy with their Nintendo Wii, right? So I can't remember how long ago it was. It was certainly within the last, I don't know, 11 to 12 years that I first played this game. But it's only been the once. So this recent playthrough was definitely refreshed the old memory on this one. But it's quite delightful.
Yeah. I did play this when it came out, but I didn't have a Wii for a while, and that's so I am said friend that bogarted the Wii from another friend. So I had a good friend of mine, Mark. What's up, Mark? He listens sometimes, I think.
Hey,
Oh, hi, Mark.
Was a good friend of mine and roommate in college, and he had a Wii, and I think we just kind of like took turns getting every fucking star on this game. Like I just remember being so enamored with it. Yeah, it's holds a special place in the old heart here, and it came out on that 3D collection, and that was the first time I think I had played it since it came out in 07. And yeah, it's just like you said, Brian, that first cutscene, like it all comes rushing back. It's like I just remember like even some of the harder, bonus levels, and some of these levels get pretty tough, and expect you to do some crazy shit with the gravity and the platforming. It just all rushed back. Like it's like, oh yeah, I remember this, and yeah, this was a tough one, and I know what I need to do, but it doesn't make it any less fun. So it's always fun to come back and revisit this game.
Beyond the first cutscene and the first little bit of the first galaxy, that was kind of what I remember. I don't remember anything else about this game after that, so it was like a new experience to me.
Well, that's cool.
I completely shut it out for some reason. Like I must have had some trauma at the time there. My brain just like completely blocked out this game to save me.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at your trauma, but
No.
Yeah,
so,
you
so,
are.
so Brian was simultaneously playing this game, but also listening to a podcast where someone was eating. So he blocked it out.
exactly. Highly
I
distracting.
don't think there was podcasts back in 2007.
Oh, there were, just not many.
No, we just had conversations back then, face to face.
All right.
But
Oh, that's so dumb.
I know, right? Like I definitely this time round. Obviously, I basically did the bare minimum. But looking on my old save file, like I did, I guess 120 stars, which I think is the most you can do on just one playthrough. I know that I think there's a second playthrough I've never done.
There is.
But like Brian, like I did not remember much of this the first time. I remembered the bones of it. I remembered the observatory and obviously the Lumos and all of that stuff. But you're right. I mean, this game does have it never loses the charm, and I think it's great because it's kind of as hard or as easy as you want to make it, and that's a staple of 3D Mario games because you can challenge yourself and go for all of the stars in the game, and there are some fucking hard ones to get, but you don't have to if you don't want to. I mean, just doing the bare minimum is enough to complete this game.
See, I have been keeping quiet with you guys about my feelings about this game because I wanted to shock and awe you here, but I don't find this game that great. Everybody just gives it its flowers, talks about how great it is. It's not the best 3D Mario by far. And that obviously that goes to Odyssey, but
Oh,
I also played it on the
yeah.
Switch this time, and I played it in handheld mode, and that might have like ruined my enjoyment because I was actually like tilting the Switch in my head, and I was getting like dizzy trying to go through these planets. But I like the concept. It's a Mario game. It's absolutely serviceably fun as a Mario game. I just find that the worlds sometimes are a little bit too small. So you're hopping from planet to planet or planetoid to planetoid here, and then if you do get a level with any size to it, once you get a star, you're kicked out and you have to load back in. And I found that to be kind of annoying because even Mario 64 didn't really do that, did it? Like, did it kick you out after you got a star?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
But
Maybe it was Odyssey that if you got a moon, you stayed
that's
in.
the
But
one.
I guess I can't fault it for something that came later. I thought Mario 64 was the same way.
No.
Nevertheless, I like the game, don't get me wrong, but it's by far not my favorite. I actually want to play Mario Galaxy 2 because that's the one everybody like gushes all over.
Yeah, I've not played that.
No, I haven't either, but I have a copy.
This game itself, yeah, it's okay. It's fun, but I didn't find myself rushing to get back to it.
I find that interesting. Like a couple of points there, not least of which, like playing it on the Switch, especially handheld. Now I played it on the Wii, and I suppose I can imagine with the
It's touch controls versus a wand.
yeah, I guess like the Wiimotes and everything like that would be more or less the same. So I guess the game works pretty much
you
the same
can take
as
the
it did.
Wiimotes. Yeah, you can take the Wiimotes, and when it gives you like prompts of how to use like do moves like the spin move and all that stuff, it'll tell you both either shake the right Wii remote or hit the Y button to do the spin.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
you're still waggling your sticks about and doing all of that jazz.
Yeah, then I played the game.
Exactly. Yeah, please clean your controllers first. Like, come on, don't be gross.
I
But
would
I will say, like,
yeah.
I
Sorry, go ahead.
I just want to address the other point that you made. There's just
Yeah.
like I actually really like the fact that, and it's the same for Mario 64, which if you put a gun to my head, I do prefer Mario 64, but that's purely a nostalgia thing because I played that way, way, way back in the day, and I played it to death. But I like the almost bite-sized chunks of challenges. You just hop into a level, you do a star, you come back out, and it's just like you can literally just dip in and dip out, and it never feels overwhelming. It's just like, well, I've only got time for like 2 or 3 stars between jobs I'm doing indoors, so I'm just going to play a couple and then save and stop and pick it up later. Like, I like the ability to handle this game as much or as little as you like.
It's like it's built for my
That's,
short attention span. Because like
Exactly.
even if I have,
Yeah, it's a
even if
fair
I have
point,
more
but
time, I'm like gonna play a bunch of it.
But I'm the type of guy, if you give me that option, like where I can dip in and out really quick, I'm going to do that, and it's going to take me forever to beat a game like this because my attention span dies really
Oh,
quickly.
that's fair.
So normally when I'm playing a game and I have like long periods between checkpoints, that tends to keep me focused on the game because I don't want to turn it into like sleep mode and risk it updating and ruining all my progress. So I always go to the next checkpoint.
It's a fair point.
This one, jump into a level, get a star within 5 minutes, you're kicked out. You jump into a level again, star within 5 minutes, get kicked out. It was again, I really like the game. It's not one that brings me joy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't-
One thing I want to
Like
mention,
I have nothing bad to say about it.
Yeah, well, then don't. Just kidding. I'm kidding. One thing I will say
The
about
greatest game ever, Sam.
yeah, you better think so. I've played it both ways. I've played it on the Wii natively, and then I've played it on the Switch in hand. I think I flipped between handheld mode and the regular mode with the two Joy-Cons. The first time I replayed it, which was when that 3D collection first came out, and then the time when I played it this time, I just played with Wiimotes, tried to get like as much of a kind of quote unquote traditional feel as possible. But I think it works better on the Wii, and I think those Wii motion control games all work better on the Wii when you've got that like
Oh yeah.
when you've got that electric eye thing that you set up by your TV, and as goofy as it is and as much annoying extra like hookups and cords and shit that the Wii has, like it really does play really tight. Whereas like I was constantly having to, you can hit the R1 button and reset your toggle or like your little cursor to the middle of the screen so you can collect your star pieces and shit and point at things. And you do need to orient your controllers to use some of the motion controls. And so that felt a little off and was frustrating at times. But in general, I do appreciate the fact that, and I hope that they do more. And I hope the Galaxy 1 and 2 collection is successful, because hopefully that means that we get more of these Wii games ported over to the Switch, because I think a lot of that stuff is just kind of stuck on there right now. Yeah, I don't know where else I was really going with that, but like I guess I just appreciate the fact that like they found a way to port it onto a system that kind of functionally is different than what it was originally built for.
At the same time,
the Switch, though.
I was just going to say, the Switch just kind of is the only console that you could do that with.
Yeah.
That was actually my point as well, so thanks, Alan.
Well,
thanks for stealing it.
You're very welcome, Brian. Because it is kind of just like a screen with two Wiimotes stuck to the side of it, right? I mean,
basically,
functionally. Yeah. So, I mean, I did quite enjoy. I mean, I've only got the Wii version to go with, and I thought the thing is, I like the Wii. Don't get me wrong. I just think it is a bit of a learning curve just to wrap your head around the controls sometimes. And it's not necessarily a problem with the game or necessarily a problem with the interface.
Nope.
But I don't know. It just feels sometimes like they tried to make a fully 3D game and somehow make it work for the Wii. And I do sometimes find the controls in this game just a little bit wonky. Like, I don't have the confidence playing this game like I would an N64 game.
Did you run into a situation... Yeah, sorry. Did you run into a situation where you're like holding down holding the analog stick up so that you could run forward, and all of a sudden Mario would just start doing circles on the spot because the game was still trying to figure out the controls, and you had to like let go for a second in order to reset it?
Yeah, and I couldn't tell
if that happened to me a lot.
I couldn't tell if that was just me being stupid or just like the controls fighting me, but it has a really...
Well, you got to think about it. Like, as you're going underneath the planetoid there, or you're going, like, the screen is flipped upside down, the controls have to reverse themselves at some point.
That's true.
Yeah.
And this game has a genius, like, setting and mechanic. Like, I love all the little planetoids, and I love the gravity, and I love that, basically they just took Mario 64 and just said, or to a lesser extent, Mario Sunshine. It was just like, well, what else can we do with this character? I know, let's just fuck him off into outer space. And it's brilliant. It's just that the gravity and the sphere mechanic of this game, while fantastic in principle, does throw up some minor control issues.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. I was getting those tight circles, and it seemed to always happen when, like, if you hit a switch and there's a timer on something, and then you need to like run to something, all of a sudden like the camera angle would change, and then Mario would be like running these tight little circles, and it's like, no, you need to move forward. or I would get hit because of that. It's just like, oh my god.
That got frustrating.
Yeah, it's a flaw
times.
for sure.
But I get why. Like, yeah, it can't be perfect controls all the time, and it considering how tight the game actually controls, and it feels like every other 3D Mario game. You get the triple jump, you get the dive forward, like long jump, I guess you call it. You do the backflip. All that stuff is still there that was started in Mario 64. So nothing about this game makes you feel like you have a huge learning curve. So that's kind of really forgivable. That's the biggest quirk, is the controls sort of fuck up now and then.
It's very rarely, and it is something that you get used to fairly early on in the game. It's just I'm not used to necessarily being in this plane. It's, usually you're sort of on flat ground and just running forward, right? So all of a sudden you've got to think about all of these different angles and where do I need to be to get to the next planetoid, and okay, I'm kind of upside down now. What does that do for my controls? I mean, some of my biggest frustrations in this game were like, to use one particular star for an example, there's one where you're upside down and have to climb up this tower inside while this level of sand is rising.
Oh, yeah.
And it basically reverses the controls, and I know I must have done it before when I was younger and smarter. But I just could not wrap my head around it this time, so I was just like, you know what? I'm playing this for a podcast. I do not have the fucking time, and longed it off.
This
Nope.
I like when games go upside down like that, and I don't know if it's like my left-handedness, like maybe I'm a little backwards anyways, but like I really like upside down or like gravity switch stuff, and this game was kind of one of the, at least one of the first ones I played that really did that to, great success.
Yeah.
Yeah, and oh man, I lost my point.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it was on my own fault. I had a point there, and then I started thinking of something else, and next thing you know, it's gone.
Yeah,
Backwards
it happens.
controls.
Yeah, okay, we were talking controls. That's what it was. I like there's one part early on in the game where they did the gravity thing, and I think this is what you might have been alluding to, is where you hit these different colored walls, and it determines if you're going on the ceiling or if you're going on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed that. That was probably my favorite part of the game.
See, I like those kind of almost 2D sections where, you can see the pattern on the wall showing you which way the gravity is going to go, and you need to figure out, well, I need to jump here but land on that platform when the gravity shifts and all of that stuff. Like, I loved all of that. But when I was trying to do a 3D kind of puzzle upside down, like, my brain just could not calculate where I needed to go or what I needed to do. It's a me problem.
It's a me.
For sure.
Let's go. There you go.
Yeah. The other thing that I like is how they kind of ease you into it, where it's like, okay, so sometimes you're going to be upside down in 2D, and then other times it's like, okay, now you're going to be upside down, but it's 3D, and then you get to these, I think it's one of the lead up to that final Bowser fight, there's one where it's like, the gravity is pulling you towards the left and right of the screen, but you're kind of moving through this space where you have to navigate, and these platforms are moving, and you have to be on the correct part of the platforms. They're shaped like pluses and T-shaped and stuff. So like when it moves through to the section where it's like going to pull you up instead of to the right, then you have to make sure you're on the right side of that kind of T-shape, or else you're going to fall. That part was one of my favorites.
Yeah, for sure. Like, there's no denying the level design in this game is spectacular, and saying a Mario game has great level design is hardly the most groundbreaking statement ever made. But this game does genuinely feel quite massive, and there's so many moving parts.
Massive.
Well, yeah, and so many different planets and so many clever little puzzles and all of that stuff going on. It feels astronomical.
Yeah. I like
the little details as well. I like going inside of a planet, and then it's like instead of running outside of a sphere, you're running inside of it, and again, it disorients you. Or you end up inside of a cube, and you have little ramps to run up, and you have to beat all the bosses, or not the bosses, all the enemies inside of there to get something. And the way you can go from a pipe all the way through the planet, but then you run down the side of it, and the planet seems like a completely different beast, and you don't even know how big it is, really.
Yeah.
A lot of little details like that, just really spectacular in the design of this game.
It's also seamless and fluid.
Yeah. Another thing that I like, not only on the hub world, because that hub world is really cool, where you start in the Mushroom Kingdom, and you're just kind of like launched into space immediately after that kind of basically interactive cutscene. It's like, oh, this is the Mushroom Kingdom, some shit's going down, and then I'm in space.
As always.
Peach again is doing absolutely nothing but screaming, Mario!
Can I just ask the question, right?
Yeah.
This is not the Mushroom Kingdom's first rodeo. Do they have a military? Do they have any offensive capabilities? And if not, why not? Because Bowser pulls this shit literally every fortnight. The guy
with an army.
The guy just strolls up and literally steals Peach's castle, unopposed. Like, what kind of Mickey Mouse operation are we running here, people? Like, come on now. You've got hundreds of thousands of these little toads, like, that you can't train up.
They have a military, but the highest rank is only a Captain Toad.
Yeah. Is this the first game Captain Toad's in?
Yeah, I was wondering that. I think it might be.
Because I know he's turned up, and he had his own game, which I'm yet to play.
I love that he gets a spin-off. That game is fun.
I actually have that game. It's a pretty good 3D puzzler.
It really
If it
is.
means pick it up, it looks neat. I think I may have played a demo back in the day, but it's on my to-do list.
Um. Oh shoot,
Super Mario Galaxy was his first game.
Oh,
That's
there you
cool.
go.
I
I
like
love
his
that
little
he just
theme,
turns up
too.
with zero explanation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
Well-
then you know exactly who he is because somehow the lore has been created throughout the decades of him being alive and being a character, and you just know him.
Yeah.
And I love that picture you posted in our Discord there of like Toad with his headlamp there blasted right in your face. And
Yeah.
not even 2 days later, I saw the same thing on Reddit.
Really?
Like not your picture in particular, but the same thing on Reddit. And then you know that meme where the guy's being woken up and he has like that fuck off face on.
That's right.
Mhm.
It was yeah, great minds think alike, I guess. But yeah, it was it's friggin' hilarious. Yeah, he shines that light right in Mario's face,
He's like a
and Mario
cop.
just keeps that shit-eating grin on there. Just like,
Yeah.
it's a fine.
We have to get, and that's another thing that I did sometimes find a little bit tricky is actually getting close enough to people to talk to them because you'd either run past them or bounce off their heads or God knows
Oh,
what.
God,
but
yeah.
You had to be right up in their grill to actually start a conversation. And yeah, Captain Toad is just that he's got his headlamp on. He's not turning that thing off for anyone, despite the fact he's not in a fucking cave. He just gives you the full beam. All Mario's retinas. That's all I'll say.
Oh, before I forget, what I was before I lose this thought, something I liked about not only the hub world but just like all of the individual levels, is that like usually you can see there's like a almost on the hub world there's like a power cord that's like built into the floor at some point, and you can tell like there's like 3 or 4 of them, and they light up as you progress and open more rooms, and so it's like you can see how big this is or where you're going to go, and that kind of drives play a little bit where it's like I got to keep going and see where this like what's up in this area that's closed off right now. And even in some of the worlds, like when you enter a world, you're like launched into the whatever galaxy or planet or whatever, but Mario is always entering the level by flying in, and so like as he's flying in you can interact with the screen. You can sometimes gather star bits and whatnot, and then you can see all these planets as you're kind of panning in, and it's like, wow, there's like this one over here, I'm wondering where I'm going to go. And it's like you might make note of something distinctive, and you don't necessarily progress along that path for whatever star you're on, but that like next time I jump in I might end up on that planet. That looks cool. So that was always fun too.
It's funny you mentioned like collecting the star bits while you're flying on the Switch. Like I said, your finger acts as the Wiimote. So
Yeah.
what is the other thing you can do with the star bits is shoot them. And while I'm trying to collect star bits while flying, because you have to tap them, I sit there, and if I hold too long, it shoots the star bits out. So I remember one time I was flying, trying to get 100 star bits again early in the game to feed that thing when you first learn about shooting them at the stars,
Yeah.
or the star people. And I was flying through, and I was getting like all these star bits around me, and I kept tapping them, and I looked down. I was actually losing star bits because of that. Because I'd grab one and shoot 2.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's just more funny than it was annoying. I eventually obviously got the 100, but it was just like, this is absolute bullshit.
I think that's
I think-
probably why like the Wiimote is slightly more convenient for that, because you actually have to
Exactly.
physically pull the trigger at the back to fire
Now,
the star bits, which I kind of...
I wonder if... Sorry, before you get to your point there, I was just kind of thinking, I never actually tried it dock, so I wonder if I had the Switch remote in my hand, if I'd be able to do it the same way as the Wiimote.
Yes.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. Who knows? I'd have to give it a try. But, I mean, I agree with Sam's point there. Like that initial pass through each level does kind of feel like you can see the whole playground, and like here are all the toys you get to play on. And yeah, like I say, you might not be able to get on all of them right now, but you just know that, oh, that over there looks cool. I can't wait to get over there. And it does a great job of kind of showcasing the levels and doing that thing as well that I absolutely love, where it's just like, okay, this is the star you've got to get. This is the thing that it's on. This are some of the paths that you'll have to take to get there. It kind of pans across, not all, but most of your path there. So at least you have a basic idea of what it is you need to do. The trick is just actually executing it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's by no means easy. It's just helpful.
Yeah, I like that
Now,
kind of stuff.
one thing I don't like about these Mario games is the 3-hit mechanic you have, where you always only have 3 hits unless you find that special item, doubling it, giving you 6. But for me, who's very clumsy when I play these games, I tend to be at one slice of that pie for most of the level until you find like that one coin that recharges you, and that kind of messed me up a little bit on this one, where the star bits are what get you extra lives, and the coins are just simply there to recharge your health. Like, I didn't find another point to the coins. Did I
Oh.
miss something?
If you get 50, you get a life.
Coins.
50 coins.
Star bits.
No, well, coins
really?
too. It's coins too.
But
the
I know
thing
you,
is that-
you
they're-
definitely get extra life with the star bits because those things are everywhere. So I was never really hurting for lives, but I don't know, Brian. Three hits for Mario is a lot better than some other one-hit kill games that we may or may not have discussed recently.
That's true.
That's true. And mind you, Mario was a 2-hit kill kind of guy when he first started out if he had a power-up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's just for me. It's like not, obviously, again, not game breaking. You get used to it, and it's just more along the lines of, I guess I play better with one pie slice than I do with all 3 because I seem to like cook when I was almost dead all the time.
Thriving under
Now-
pressure.
The thing that pissed me off most about this game is levels where you couldn't run underneath the level. Like, I'm looking at that B world or that B galaxy because I walked off the side, like right there, thinking I'd go underneath the level, and I fell right into the goddamn black hole.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit?
It's like you have to pay attention to the but that doesn't necessarily make sense because like there are these like very specifically donut shaped things where you could like go around the side, or like disc shapes that you could go around the bottom and stuff, and that didn't necessarily, those seem to kind of have their own gravity in the middle. Otherwise, like I do like how you, as a way of orienting yourself, you know, to the ground on these where you're like flipping through space, there is like a black hole in every and that's kind of like your focal point. That's your source of gravity, and I thought that was really neat.
Yeah.
I didn't actually consider that was. I mean, from a physics standpoint, I suppose that would make sense. If not catastrophically dangerous.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I think that was also a good indicator that perhaps, you know, you weren't as safe as you were on some of the other planetoids. Like, yeah, there are some platforms and things like that you can literally just run around. And I found that really cool for like some of the moving platform puzzles where there's like laser gates and things like that, and you just run around the other side of the platform and go under it. I mean, those were some neat little almost puzzles. But then there were certain hazards where you're just like, well, there's a black hole pretty much under me, so I doubt very much that this is going to be as forgiving. So it's kind of a hint, but I see what you mean. Sometimes it did feel kind of arbitrary about what you could or could not fall off of.
It's mostly because I just assumed everything was, you know, its own little planetoid and you could run underneath it. But, you know, lesson learned, and after that I became a little more vigilant, and I don't know. I think it's probably be the worst thing I have to say about this game is just I'm stupid.
I'm right there with you, buddy. Right there with you.
Yeah, it's almost like if something was round and just kind of freely floating in space, like a disc shape, or like a little mini sphere that you could jump onto and run all the way around, then that would have its own gravity. But if it's just like a free floating platform, then you were kind of, you know, then you had to check your surroundings and kind of check where that gravity well was, and that's kind of what was dictating what was going on for you. Just kind of interesting. I don't know. I think it's a brilliant way to.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if you could see the gravity well would pull you off of whatever you're on.
No, it's just that's your reference point for like, if I go off of the side of this, that's where I'm falling. I'm getting sucked into that black hole that's down there. So
Yeah.
I better not fall off of whatever.
I did not do that at all.
While we're talking about gameplay mechanics, I've just thought of another one. What did you guys think of like the tiny blue stars that you literally use the Wii remote to grab and pull yourself over towards. Like, I thought they made for some quite cool puzzles.
Yeah, those were fun.
Yeah, it was interesting. Again, finger touching as opposed to wand remoting. A little bit easier, I suppose.
I can
'Cause
imagine
I'm
that
not
would
aiming
be,
at
yeah.
a screen. I'm just touching it.
Yeah, because using the Wiimote, you would sometimes... I mean, it's fairly forgiving. If you grab one, you've got a decent amount of time to grab the other one before you'll just fall out of the sky. But, yeah, I thought that made for some... Especially, like, I'm not a huge fan of races in platforming games. But I thought that was a neat way of doing some of the races in this.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, the races, the friggin' race where the first one where you're on the penguin planet took me like 17 attempts to get through because you had to tilt the actual switch, because again, playing in undocked mode, so you have to tilt the switch as you're driving, and of course I'm trying to focus on the screen, so my whole body's turning with it, and then once I get that realization, I get all fucked up, and then you got to turn sharp on some corner, so you're like almost sideways on the couch, and yeah, fuck.
What are you talking about?
I
The
made it to
penguin
the
one?
end.
Is it you talking about the water one?
Yeah,
it's
the
like one of
first one you
ones.
go.
Oh, yeah. The number of times I took a corner too sharp and just fell off.
Oh, I made it to the end. I actually had that you finish this course mode, but I fell off the side as I passed the gate, like the finish line, and it made me do it again.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I hate that stuff.
I was just
Or
like, you motherfucker.
or those things where like lava is chasing you or whatever, and you get to the top, and it just like, oh, the star appears or whatever, but then you die like after that point. That kind of stuff always makes me so mad because it's like I gotta do this whole freaking thing again.
It's true. Although, I mean, even for such short levels, I mean, I think this game does have some quite forgiving, almost invisible checkpoints. It almost feels like every time you get to a new planetoid, that's where you're going to start from. And I mean, did this game need a life system? I don't know.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, like
Well,
it seems just redundant to have it.
Yeah, I think this is probably the start of the era where they started walking away from the life system.
Yeah.
Because you can find a ton of one-ups in this game.
Oh,
It's
sure.
almost
You
like-
start the game and Peach gives you 5. Like, she's just
Oh, yeah.
sending out letters from wherever she's kidnapped at the center of the universe. It's just like, yeah, apparently Bowser maintains a rather healthy postal service.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Mario Odyssey has lives. I think you just like lose some coins every time you die, which is a nice system, but like Mario almost kind of needs the life system because the green mushroom is so iconic. Like that's the item that is one up. That's always been.
That is an exceptionally good point. And I
Yeah,
hadn't
what are you
considered
gonna do
that.
without that?
Well, you can't. You've got to have
No,
it.
you play Mario Odyssey, a vastly superior game to this one.
I need to play that again. It's
I'd love to
it's
play
been
that
a
again.
hot minute. That's a good. It's a good.
But you are right.
It's a good
But you
time
are
as
right.
any.
Like it is iconic. Like, sorry, I just want to get my thoughts in here before you carry on, Alan.
Sure thing.
But not. I didn't mean that to sound rude. Sorry. But the one up, you are right, Sam. The one up is very iconic, and I didn't actually think about it that way when thinking about lives in this game. You actually changed my mind a little bit on that one.
Yeah, I might have to agree.
Check me out.
Because what else you can do? I
Alright.
mean, you've got to have the power ups in a Mario game, and this
Yeah.
game has a few. There are some that
Oh,
there are some that I really don't get on with, but for the most
bee?
part, sorry,
Yeah,
no, I
the
actually
bee
quite
is-
like the bee. I quite
bee
like
is
the
kinda
bee.
fun.
I hated the bee.
I hated the spring.
Oh, the spring! I always hate springs. What other game did we play
That's
where
a
there was
fair
a spring?
point.
There was another game we
don't
played
know.
where there was like some sort of bouncing mechanic like that, and I just really have a hard
DuckTales?
time.
Ooh.
No, I did play DuckTales recently, but it wasn't that. It was like an actual power up that was. I'm not gonna be able to think of it, but like I really have a tough time timing the actual like coiling of the spring. Because there's a very specific time that you have to hit the jump button to get that coil going.
To absolutely just launch yourself, and you need to master it for I guess there are mini bosses for certain stars in certain levels, and yeah, that's one of them. And they're cool. They're usually the same thing, just like something is in something and it is firing something at you. So have at it.
Right.
But that spring to get up on top of one of them. It's just like, it's not necessarily difficult. It's just kind of fiddly.
Yeah, it's just like a loose. By definition, I mean it's a coiled spring that's flinging in the air. It's going to be a loose, kind of hard to control mechanism. So I think that's by design. It's not meant to be like necessarily easy to control. It's just like,
No.
hey, you want to jump super high here, but also we're going to take, it's like a choose one lose one. Like,
I was
I
gonna
want
say.
the ability to jump super high. Well, guess what? You're going to fling yourself off in all
Yeah.
kinds of directions.
It's like, that tight platforming that this series is known for. How about we just take that away for a minute?
Right. Yeah.
Otherwise, everything else is fine. You got your fire flower, you got your ice flower, which are only kind of temporary. Which, all right, fair enough.
Yeah. That's
Works
fine.
for the game.
I mean, they would be really overpowered if you were able to keep them for until you lose them. I mean,
That's true.
You could really cruise through the game with one of those. So I get it.
I like that they're incorporated into actual puzzles.
Right,
you
like-
need the fire.
Yeah, that was a nice touch.
Yeah, exactly.
Lighting torches or like platforming on those little fountains to turn them into ice. Like that stuff was cool.
And I suppose not having them for all that long just gives you that urgency that I need to get to that puzzle, solve it before I lose this fire flower. So that's kind of
Right.
cool.
Oh, and
Well, like Sam said, it would make the game overpowered.
Yeah, that's true.
don't
And I love how they managed to incorporate a water world in this game somehow.
yeah, but
that's
like
true.
a lot of times you're like swimming around and like there are a couple like bonus levels where or just like areas of certain levels where you're just like swimming around just like this kind of free floating sphere of water that has its own gravity. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Made me want to play Blitzball.
Ugh.
Hey, you leave Blitzball alone.
Hey, I'd have to give it another try. I didn't get on with it the first time.
You need to master the eject shot. That's all.
Yeah. Well, the power up that I think we missed because they only give it to you right at the very end, and only if you go into that little hut that is on the way to the engine room, I think, or the
Red Star?
yeah, and
Red
you could
Star,
fly.
yeah.
It lasts a good amount of time, and you are able to just like this is what I appreciate about it because in Mario 64, you had the wing cap, and you've got obviously like the cape and Super Mario World and the little Tanuki suit and stuff. So like there's some like limited, if you're running really fast, you can get yourself going, but then it's more of a glide. This is like a straight up like you jump and you do your little Wiimote wiggle and you're actually flying and you can just direct him wherever he wants to go.
Oh, yeah. I got it this time round, but I was pretty close to end game at that point, and I never found a place to actually use it after that because, time was getting on and I needed to get through this game. It was very, very cool. I just found that first challenge where you unlock it, getting all of those, is it stars or something? I can't remember now.
They're purple
just around
coins,
that
100 purple coins.
purple coins, that was it.
Yeah.
And you're trying to fly around that tiny little planet. Like, I could not necessarily orientate my height because the curvature of the ground and what have you just really throws off your sense of scale. And when I thought I was definitely in line to get that coin, that last coin that I needed to get, it's just like I was well above it or well below it. And it's just, it's tricky to keep yourself orientated on a sphere that small. And it shouldn't
Yeah.
be, but it is.
No, I get it. Yeah, when you're on kind of a smallish planet, but I just like, I don't know. And then the cool thing is that once you unlock that, yeah, it's late in the game, but I think it does come back into play in some of the bonus levels. But there is one of those red stars just like on the hub world that you can just kind of play around with. And that I think is really cool because I think there is actually
Oh, you need that just to learn how to fly with it.
right.
Yeah.
But there's also a bonus planet. I think that there's like a secret or bonus area that you can fly to with that, I believe, but I didn't find it this time around. I might be
Well, that's
talking out of
pretty
my
cool.
ass.
Well, no, I mean, it seems likely. Like, there was so much that I didn't do this time around, because you only need, again, like 60 stars to get to the final level
Right.
out of, like, I guess 120. And
That's all I got.
well, yeah, exactly. But I do like, you go into these little domes around the map, as Sam rightly pointed out, that you kind of unlock one by one, which is neat because it really does give you the impression that you are bringing this observatory back to life.
Right.
And it just gets more bustling and more energetic as you play through the game. But you've got your worlds that you need a certain amount of stars to unlock, which is standard Mario fare. But you also get these little, I guess, question blocks on the galaxy map, which open up these little challenge levels, and some of them are pretty tricky.
Yeah.
And they're there for the completionists and what have you. You don't need to do them, but some of them are pretty cool. Like they definitely challenge your mastery of the mechanics of this game.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed those. It's always like I think they would unlock after you got X amount of stars, and
Hmm.
so I would always like go into a new galaxy and see, like okay, I got this planet, this planet, this planet, and it's like oh, there's a couple question boxes. I wonder what those are going to be. So that's another one where it's like you can kind of see ahead, what's coming and anticipate, or like it's another reason to continue playing.
Yeah, for sure. And this game gives you a lot of reasons to keep playing. Like you said, like I said that it's a game that I could take in bite-sized chunks, but I rarely did. Like being able to play this game and get a star, and it's just like, well, that was quick. I'll do another one. Well, that one was pretty quick. I'll do another one, and I'll just keep going, and keep going, and keep going. And before I knew it, I was on a session like getting 15 stars a pop,
Right.
and it is just very. It's like a bag of crisps or potato chips. You open the bag and you just keep eating.
Yep. That's exactly it. It's like one of those
See,
things
I,
where,
I had the
yeah.
exact opposite experience with this. I'd get like 2 or 3 stars and I'd be done. I'd just be bored, like not wanting to carry on. And then I'd force myself to go through it a bit more. Then I'd die like 5 times and I'd be screw it. I'm too angry now. Turn it off. But I really had to drag myself through this game.
Wow.
It's
I don't
interesting.
know. Yeah, I did not. The most,
Oh, I
not
know
this,
you didn't, Sam. You were done it before you started it.
I know
No
this,
doubt, no kidding.
not this playthrough, but the last time I played it when I first got that collection, I just like, I played Mario 64, 100% of it. I played Mario Sunshine, 100% of it. And then I got to Galaxy and I
Mario
played
Sunshine.
through, oh, Sunshine.
That has
I
some
had to look up,
brutal
yeah,
bonus levels.
I really had to look up, some of those. Yeah.
Oof.
Sunshine I had to play with a guide. Galaxy and 64 I did not. But
No.
like but this one like yeah, I 100%ed it and then I got like there is a I don't know if they changed much, but you are able to like play through the game again as Luigi, and that's pretty fun too.
I think you can do that on the Wii version. I mean, again, looking at the save file, it looks like I beat it as Mario and it's like, oh, I'm good now. I've got all the stars for Mario. That's enough for me. And I'm sure there's probably stuff you can unlock by going through both, but I probably just wanted to play something else at that point. But it's
Oh
cool
yeah,
that it's
no.
there.
Yeah, I had to move on, but like last time I played it, I was like, I'm going right into like a Luigi run. I'm just like, I'm not done yet.
Well, it is nice because like, doesn't that unlock when you get all 120 stars? Is that?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how you unlock Luigi. Which, let's be
Yep.
honest, is a better reward than getting all the stars on Mario 64, which is just, spoilers, I guess, but Yoshi giving you a whole fucking bunch of lives that you don't actually need
Oh,
at that point because you've done
yeah.
everything in the game.
Yes.
That was kind of a slap in
So
the
dumb.
It
face.
really was. I mean, nice that he's there, I guess, but it's just like, well, great. What am I supposed to do with these?
Which again, lives, which by Super Mario 64 time, like you didn't really need that many. I mean, they were all over the place. Again, so like, you know, why have that be the reward for all this getting all the stars? Like you already got all the stars. There's nothing else to get.
Yeah, maybe it's just a particularly dangerous commute home. I don't
Sure.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Still, it's nice that they have like that extra playthrough for you if you want to do it.
Yeah, it is. It is cool, especially if you really enjoyed yourself and you're wondering like, it's kind of a way to be like, here, we know you want to play this again, and don't want to feel weird about just like immediately restarting a game again. So we'll give it to you with just like a palette swap character. He might have
Yeah.
actually had his jump, that's a little higher than Mario's. So I think he kind of played a little bit different, but not that much different.
Plus, it's Luigi. Luigi's cool. I got no
Yeah,
beef with Luigi.
I like Luigi.
Brian,
Just
Brian, how do you
typing
feel
into
about
Google
Luigi?
now.
Oh, you're checking it out.
Yeah, I actually never even bothered. I was one and done. Luigi, he's a fine guy. I'm pretty sure he's great at parties, but I didn't want to play with him.
That's fine. That's fair. What do you guys think of the bosses? There's some, I think Mario is known for its kind of formulaic Bowser fights for sure. But this did some fun stuff uh, with kind of the game mechanics and how that worked. There was a lot of enemies that would like fire stuff at you, and you'd use that like spin move that the Luma gives you to launch stuff back. Um, the piranha plant with the tail. And then
Oh,
there's like
yeah,
harder
yeah.
versions. Like every boss
Oh, I
kind of
like
had a
that
harder
piranha
version.
plant.
Yeah,
Like, is the piranha plant or the dinosaur we're talking about? The one that was in the egg?
Oh,
yeah,
it's
that
kind of
one. I mean,
both, isn't it?
it's like a giant piranha plant, but a dinosaur. I don't know.
Yeah, that I really enjoyed that fight. That it was simple enough to be fun, but difficult enough that you could fuck up really easy, like I did a few times. The octopus was fun playing. What's it? Legend of Zelda pinball with the
Yep.
coconut before it hits him.
Yep.
That was fun. A couple of the Bowser fights were good.
I like that really giant mechanical thing that you have to basically climb up and get to
Oh,
the
get
top
the bowl of bills to chase you.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
'cause
those-
again,
those
it's
are
just like
fun,
first
too.
of all, the sense of scale of that thing is just like fuck me, that's impressive, and actually running up and climbing up it, and almost a little bit of Shadow of the Colossus going on there, but I thought that was pretty awesome. Um,
It was interesting to get the bowl of bills to chase you to actually get the star. I really liked that one.
yeah, yeah, it's just and it's one of those things. It's just like it's not explained, but the game just does a really good job of saying, oh, these things are going to chase you, and you figure out pretty early. Oh, hang on, well, what can I do while this thing is chasing me? And it's incredibly subtle tutorial, I guess.
Well, yeah, the game really telegraphs what it wants you to do really well, and that's actually a staple of Mario games. Is they are really good at making it very obvious what you need to do. There's no like hidden messages in this one. So when it comes to hitting the tail of that piranha plant one or getting the bullet bills to chase you, it becomes obvious because that's what they're making the game mechanics do. And then you have like that whiz robe fight there where you have to throw the green shells at them.
Yep.
So it gives you only one thing as a weapon, so you know immediately what you have to do. So you attempt it or you try it and you figure it out as you go along. And
Yeah.
it's great game design.
It is. It is. It's challenging, but not frustrating. And I would have to say, like, I think probably my least favorite boss fights in the game are the Bowser ones, because they're just kind of
Yeah, they were
the same
they're
thing.
weird. But that's
good.
that's kind of typical for a Mario game, though, right? Like, I think about Mario 64 was just like progressively, I guess, more difficult versions of grabbing
That's
him by
true.
the tail and swinging him around. I mean, that's kind of, but I do like at least how I think they do more in this game than they would in a Mario 64 to build. He does the kind of ground pound thing, and the object is to have him break the glass and get burned by the lava that's underneath, and then you swat at him a couple times. And he gets harder as it goes because by the time you fight the final version, he's got like a lot more tricks up his sleeve, and you actually they do mix in some other, I guess, methods to stun him. Like there's a part in the final version of Bowser where he like turns into one of those boulders with just like a weak spot.
Yeah.
So if you had been, I guess if you had figured that out earlier in the game, like the boulders have like a red spot that you can strike if you time it right, and that's kind of what you had to do with Bowser. I don't know. I thought the Bowser fights were fine.
Oh, I mean, I'm not saying that they're bad by any stretch, It's just like compared to some of the other boss fights, I don't even want to call them formulaic. Just a tad repetitive. But like you said, that's kind of a staple. Just progressively more stuff added to like the basic bare bones of the fight. Like, it's not a gripe by any stretch.
Yeah, and
it's a gripe. You hate this game.
I do.
Yeah.
It's no Sonic 06. I can tell you that for free.
No, it's not.
Whoa. I just started getting followers. Don't say that.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I did like the I do generally like the I don't know, what did you call it, like things sitting in another thing firing things at you, like as much as I hate the spring, that boss fight was kind of cool. And then there was another one that wasn't so bad. I think you had to platform a bit. You had one of those where you were the bee. And I don't think you needed the bee suit, but it was definitely like a little mini arena, and then you had to set a switch, and then you had like a certain amount of time to like platform up, and
platforms lifted up. Yeah,
that's what it was. I got there eventually. Yeah, that one. I think that was my favorite one of those.
It's the same thing, but the way that they present it is, really, again, good level design and really interesting, because it's always just kind of remixed just enough that you're just like, well, what ability that I have mastered do I have to use for this thing now?
Yeah,
and that's satisfying.
Exactly. Yeah, and like mixing in different aspects of the controls or the mechanics.
100%. It's just. And I have to say as well, like, what the fuck is Bowser made out of? Because I'm pretty sure you straight up murder him in this game. Like, I get...
You kind of do in every game.
True enough.
First Mario Brothers, you dropped him into a pit of lava.
Well, you drop him into the heart of a dying star in this one. I'm just like... He just turns up back in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah, he's back.
I'm just like, weren't you just in the middle of a supernova? Okay.
It was an okay Nova, not that super at all.
I'm just like, you know what, Bowser? Next time you win, you've earned it at this point. Jesus Christ.
Walk it off.
Yeah, at what point does Mario just simply say, hey, Princess, maybe you should get some security or something like that, because you're not paying me enough for this
That's
shit.
what I said. All them toads,
but then
train
you
them.
see Super Mario Land 2, and he has a statue of himself, so maybe she is paying him enough.
Oh, that's true. Maybe he does. I mean, she's got all of these peons running around, all of these peasants running around. I mean, either train them up as an army or just kill them off like Brian would.
One by one.
One by one. Just send wave after wave.
It's going to be a mushroom risotto this evening in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Mushroom risotto. Oh, boy.
I mean, what else is there to talk about this game?
Oh, the music.
the
music is
music
amazing,
is
like it is in every Mario game.
You can't have a Mario game without good music. I don't think it's
Yoshi
possible.
Kondo again?
What's that?
This one...
Fuck, I can't remember the name of the guy who does the music for Nintendo games.
Oh, I thought you literally meant Yoshi. I was just like, wow, that kid's got talents.
Yeah.
Koji Kondo.
Koji Kondo, yeah.
Where is it? Where the fuck is the composer? Yeah, Koji Kondo. And Mahito Yokota.
I think Mario Sunshine had kind of that tropical feel. This one, like, they really nailed, because it's in space. It's got that, like, epic, almost like Star Wars inspired orchestral sound with just like a lot of like crescendo trumpets, and I don't know, it's just great. I like it.
That's Star Wars. You nailed it there. It has that, doesn't it? That
or Star Trek,
John Williams, like bombastic flair, and the opening title screens and everything are just iconic. Like, I hadn't played this game in 10 years or more, and I still recognize that tune immediately. It's just the music is so damn good in this game.
Oh, it's always good in Mario games. Like Mario, Zelda, all these first-party Nintendo games, they live and die by their music.
They cook.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've ever heard a bad Nintendo game with its soundtrack.
No. I mean, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, you look at any of the big hitters. Yeah, you're right. But
there's ones that are like, I don't know, not as in your face, or like maybe a little more boring, but there's nothing that you would point to and be
they
like, that's
fit
bad.
the atmosphere.
Yeah, right. They fit, but nothing that's like, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Not a bad one.
Well, I just like the
Zero
way that
skips,
a lot
right?
of the music in this game was very familiar as well, very nostalgic. I mean, a lot of the tunes are just almost, I want to say, up-resed themes from earlier Mario games, but just given that glossy makeover and presented just slightly more, I don't know, atmospherically, and that just really works for me.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't talk about we didn't mention the movie yet.
That's true.
And
Yeah, let's not mention the movie yet because I haven't seen it yet.
No,
and
not
I'd
too
really
much.
like
I mean,
not
I'm not
have
gonna
anything spoiled.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it or anything. I'm not gonna be
I
an
haven't
asshole.
seen
I'm
the
just saying,
movie, but Sam, I mean, I mean, is it a Mario Galaxy movie based
absolutely.
on what
And
you've played?
And I would just say, like, I'm only saying this from a music perspective, is that, like, the music beats are there, and some of the sound effects, like, they do incorporate into the movie in a way that's really fun. So, like, it was just kind of fun because we were obviously playing this game for the show, and then I went to see the movie, and I'm in the middle of playing this game, and it's like, yeah, they really nailed all the sound and really incorporated sound into the movie in a way that was fun. So, highly recommend.
That's cool. And I mean, the first film, I've seen that, and that kind of did the same. You know, it had so many nods and links to the game that I can't imagine they'd have made a Mario Galaxy film without at least tapping into that same nostalgia.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I won't say anything more.
No, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to watch that. Maybe it'll be the way I introduce my kids to Super Mario proper. She likes Peach. She's a big fan of Peach. So, there's only a bit part in this game now that I think about it. We haven't even mentioned Rosalina.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she kind of is a big part of the game.
She really is, yeah. What do you think of her?
Yeah, just like, I don't know. Just another one of the Mario Universe princesses, I suppose.
Yeah, the debut though. This is the first. Rosalina appearance.
She mostly just stood in the hub like every other princess in this game. Never really helps Mario until it's time for a movie, and all of a sudden they're untouchable.
Well, that's what I found quite interesting, because she is like presented as, I don't know, like Queen of the Cosmos or something like that, and she's pretty happy to just let this random plumber just handle all of the problems there. I'm just like, well, what? Aside from like being mother to this race of Lumos, like what actually do you do?
Stands around, looks good doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, she's cool. She's a cool character. Don't get me wrong. I mean, has she been in? I mean, I assume she must be in Galaxy 2. I've not played it.
Oh yeah, she plays a role for sure.
But has she been in anything else since then? Except for the movie? Oh, she's got to be in like Mario Kart.
She's playable. She's playable in Mario 3D World.
Yeah, she's in Super Mario Maker. She's in Odyssey. She's in Mario Maker 2, Super Mario Run. She's in Super Mario Brothers Wonder. She's playable in some of the Mario Karts. She's in Mario Parties. She's been around.
She's a pretty established character at this point. Like, they've done a lot with her since then.
Yeah. They didn't ignore her like they did Daisy for the longest time.
Oh, poor Daisy. I don't know. Cool.
I honestly, when I first started playing this, I thought it was going to be Daisy. I forgot about Rosalina for a bit. And then I was like, oh, yeah.
It's just like, Daisy, what have you been up to? Well, I left the planet and decided to adopt a race of star people, and this is my flying observatory. What do you think? Well, you have been busy.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's a cool character. I think she's like a cool design. You don't, aside from the little storybook flashbacks, which I think are really neat. I quite enjoyed those. It tells kind of a backstory there. It's a good job that she is in more games, because I don't really think she's got too much in the way of depth in this one. And I would like to learn more about the character.
No, but I did appreciate that they, if you were interested in the story such as it was, they have that, like storybook that's in that room that you can go and check out. And then every time you progress a certain amount, it would say like, "Hey, the storybook has been updated," so you could go check it out if you were interested.
Yeah.
And I like that
See,
they do that, and they don't also like force you to look at it if you don't want to.
I think that is to keep the game aimed at kids who might have a lower attention span.
Well,
Like if you're a
it worked
lore
on me.
hungry monster, you can go check it out. But if you're a kid and you just want to, run around on planets and giggle and shit yourself, which I do frequently, so I'm not judging kids here.
Right.
uh, it gives those kids the options just to get that dopamine dump of Mario inside of them. So it makes sense that you would put the story off to the side to allow it to be more action oriented.
Yeah.
Right.
Get both kind of dumps, dopamine and otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, what else? What else is there?
Sam?
I don't think so. I don't think there's anything else. I mean, I think we pretty thoroughly covered it. I'm satisfied. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I've been satifying myself since we started, and I'm almost there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think, if
Stop-
we try to go any
stop
further, we'll
wiggling
just be
your joysticks.
circling the black hole.
Right, yeah. We if we keep talking, we're gonna get stuck in that tight loop instead of moving forward.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a good place to end it. So thanks, guys. If you're listening,
Final
thank
thoughts?
you. Final thoughts. Oh shit!
Yeah, we're just
am I
going to blow
doing?
past that.
No, yeah. I don't care what you guys think. This game is perfect. All right, next. No, yeah.
That's actually what I'm thinking.
yeah. I forgot how our own show works. Let's get into final thoughts.
Hey, everybody scored this game at 10 until next time.
Yeah.
Let's start with Alan. Go ahead.
I mean, it's kind of hard to root against a 3D Mario game, right? I mean, listen, the Wii console was never... I like the Wii probably more than most. It's not my favorite console, and I think some of the technical eccentricities of the system do show through on this game, but it is a really solid 3D Mario game, and I love the fact that they just went completely, literally out there with the level design. I love the outer space setting. I love the gravity features. But if you strip all of that away, you've still got the bones of the 3D Mario platformer that we've come to know and love from 64, from Sunshine, and all the rest of it. So it is a solid Mario experience. Like, it's bright, it's colourful, it sounds great, it plays well. It's all the things that you would expect from a Mario game. I just think it's a wonderful, again, playground that they've created for you to explore, and just kind of just shaken up that tried and true formula and just made you like look at platforming in a completely different, again, quite literally completely different angle. There were a couple of things that sort of stuck in my craw, and most of it's me, I think. Just some of the, like I said, the upside down bits, the controls, the back and forth of it. It's just like, I guess that works very well, and I must have done it before. I'm just old and slow and easily confused now, so I can't really ding it for that. The characters are cool. I love the Lumos, the little star guys. They're cute. I love the fact that they gave rise to the one that's in the first Mario movie.
Yeah.
The little blue guy in the cage, who is by far and away the funniest thing in that fucking film. I don't care what anyone says. I don't know. I just think it's a great addition to the lore. I don't know what else there is to say about it. It's just like, it's a Mario 3D platformer. You know what you're going to get, and it does it really, really well. So I'm just going to go ahead and score it. And do I give it anything less than a 9? I don't think I can. I think I have to give it a 9. Like, I was thinking 8.5, and I'm just like, well, what am I dinging it for? And there's not much.
Right.
So, fuck it. You can have a 9. There you go, 9 stars, which is about, what, 51 less than you need to beat this game.
That's true. All right. Brian?
Well, how do I beat Alan's 9 stars?
You're not, because you're going
Why
to shit on
not?
it.
I'm not going to shit on the
I
game.
know.
The game is fun. It's a very serviceable Mario game, but it's not my favorite in the 3D Mario series. I mean, Odyssey has done it better, and I can't really fault this game for not being as good as Odyssey when Odyssey is like 2 games newer than this one. So they've had time to learn with that. However, I kind of agree with Alan. The upsy downsy turnsy over is kind of disorienting, especially when I was playing handheld and I found myself like cranking my neck just because, I was trying to look and observe. Like, I'm a very, body moving player when I play video games. Like, just watch me play any racing game and you're going to see me try to turn with the corners. But I think the thing about this game that got me the most is I didn't feel the grandness of the universe because all the planetoids are really small, and I don't know if that actually like ruined the enjoyment a little bit because it's hard to explain. I had a lot of fun when I was playing it, but at the same time I didn't find myself being captivated by it. So it's this weird, place where I really want to like this game, and I really do, but at the same time I just don't want to play it anymore. And that's probably where it's gonna like hurt the score the most, because there's nothing else about this game that I can really complain about, because the music is fantastic, the graphics are colorful, the universe is beautifully done. Outside of the small planetoids, the fact that I continuously got caught shooting between the same little stupid planetoids all the time because I would miss one of those stupid star things where it shoots you between planetoid to planetoid is not the game's fault, it is my fault. And yeah, I like the boss fights is where this game shines, especially on small planets. The piranha plant, the rock guy, the robot with the bullet bills, the battles with Bowser Jr. on his ship, and the whiz robes and all those types of guys. Like, I can't think of a bad boss fight in this. Once you figure it out, it's just a matter of like chopping the tree down, and at that point it becomes fun because now you're solving that little puzzle that is simply, how do I beat this guy? And like we alluded to earlier, it's telegraphed in what you need to do on every boss fight because they're going to give you what you need to beat the boss. The power-ups in this game, I don't know. I think the game might have been great even without the power-ups. The fire flower, the ice thing, kind of fun for little puzzles. Didn't really need them beyond that, so it might have been nice if they're implemented into like a boss fight where you had to use a fire flower to hit somebody from a distance, but I'm not here to redesign this game. This game absolutely does not need to be redesigned. I guess all I can say is the characters introduced in this game are fantastic. Alan, you're 100% right. The little starlet from the first Super Mario Brothers movie is the star of that show, and reading up on how that character was created is actually quite hilarious because it was like somebody's kid was there and they're just using them as test sounds for the character while they found a voice actor, and then he did so well, or the kid did so well, that they just left it in the test sounds.
Is that right?
So yeah, it's something like that. I might not have gotten exactly right, but I know it's something very simplistic.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, but I'm not going to go too much further into what Alan said because Alan, you pretty much nailed my thoughts on this, and I gave my counter thoughts just now. I am going to give it the 8.5 because I think it really needs to knock a point off, not because it's a bad game, because it's still an A. It's still going to get the Dean's List, but it's just not the best one I've played, and again, I just don't find myself wanting to run back and play it some more. But I'm still interested in playing Mario Galaxy 2 to see if that game took what I don't like about this one and expanded on it to make it more enjoyable for me. So I will play Mario Galaxy 2 one day.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
All right.
So there.
All right, I guess my
It's
turn.
not as bad as you thought, but it's not as good as you wanted.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm thinking of my score, and I think I was gonna go higher, and I'm gonna talk it through. Not for too long, but bear with me here, because this is currently, I think, my favorite 3D Mario game, by far. I mean, I obviously I love Mario 64. That's the game that I had and introduced me and a lot of us to 3D platforming and did it well. Sunshine I've only played recently within the last couple of years, and yeah, that's an interesting one. Um, but I think this one really held the core of you know what makes Mario great and what makes 3D Mario great without being like overly gimmicky, which is what I think Sunshine kind of was. You're never gonna disappoint me with a space theme. That's a plus. I love what this game does with gravity. Um, you know, some of the traversal of space with like we talked about those blue stars that you kind of pull yourself to with the Wiimote. Like this game, and I think the Wii is generally I think a lot of people remember it fondly, but there are another contingent of folks that probably think that it was a gimmicky pile of crap, and there was a lot of shovelware on the Wii. But if you don't have to go far to find some really fantastic games on the Wii that made really good use of that, the Wiimote and the Joy. Well, now they're called Joy Cons, but the nunchuck and the Wiimote. It is goofy. You do have to kind of give yourself some space to play, but when you're in it, it's a fun experience. And I mean, every time I come back to this game, I've probably played it through. At least 3 times completely. And then this most recent time, I stopped a little bit short. I did finish it, but not all the stars. It's another one that I think I would go back to for sure. And every time you go back to it, it's like it feels new because there's enough that you didn't remember that it's like, oh yeah, this is cool. And then there's enough that you remember that you're not gonna have a hard time with it, but it's gonna feel fun and fresh. If you haven't played it for a while, so. It's always one I can go back to. I do enjoy Odyssey, but I think where I think Galaxy gets the edge for me over Odyssey is that it is a little bit more of a compact game. It's I don't know, what did we say, 120 stars or maybe a little bit more. To Mario Galaxy's like over 500 moons. Like it's crazy. I think some of the problem with Odyssey is that some of those moons are just like, I don't know, go walk over to this space and ground pound and there's a moon there. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if you need that. But anyways, to each his own. If you really like a really huge game, then Odyssey is cool. And they both do very similar, things. Odyssey is really the next step up from Galaxy, and it shows. So I am excited to play Galaxy 2. And the reason why I am going to score Galaxy 1 this way is because from all accounts, Galaxy 2 takes what Galaxy does and does it better, and I'm kind of excited to experience that. So I'm going to go ahead and give Galaxy a 9 because I there's only leaves room at the top there a little bit in case I like Galaxy 2 more. That's kind of a gamble. What if I don't like it more? I don't know. Then I guess I would revise my Galaxy score, but for now I'm going to give it a nice solid 9.
I mean, you can give both 10s.
This is where we disagree on Odyssey, where you say there's 500 moons to get, and some of them are very simple, where I like the fact that when you get a moon, you just carry on, and you don't get kicked back to a hub and have to reload. I find Odyssey plays a little more fluidly.
That's true, but some of it's like, they stuff so many moons into it that it's like, you're just like tripping over them at some point.
And I think I'm just going to land right in the middle of this discussion because I like both. I like both those styles of gameplay. I like the bite-sized chunks, and at the same time, I like a big area to just find things in every little corner. I think they both have their merits.
I do. I like them both, but for Odyssey, it's like feels like it feels like an Odyssey, right? It's like,
sure.
Do I want to read War and Peace, or do I want to read, I don't know, Catcher in the Rye? One is...
Let's put it this way. Do you want to read War and Peace, or do you want to shit in your hands and clap?
That's the best. Or do you want to play Bubsy?
There's now a ban.
Sorry.
Blanket
Sorry,
ban.
was that too soon?
Much too soon. Much too soon.
All
But I
right.
tell you what. I tell you what. I can see not being too soon is like, yeah, me diving into Galaxy 2 at some point because I really need to see what that game's all about. If it's at least as fun as this one, then there's no way it's going to be a bad time. And if they have improved on it, then fucking hey, you've taken something great and made it even better. Like, what's not to love?
Well, if in the, I'd say next year or so, if we decide to do Galaxy 2, I think I might actually try it on the Wii as opposed to the Switch just to get that authentic experience. Maybe it'll change my mind. Maybe it is designed for the Wii so well that, playing it on the Switch just ruins a bit of the experience. So, I'm open-minded here. I'm definitely going to give it a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
And I'm glad that it's more accessible. Like that's one thing that I'm always an advocate for is like especially these games that are otherwise locked on consoles like the Wii, that are pretty not hard to find, but definitely like a specialized piece of tech because it has that motion control and you have to kind of set it up a certain way. Um, Having these games accessible on a console like the Switch is just perfect.
Yeah.
I was really excited when they came out with the Galaxy 1 and 2 collection. I'm probably not going to get it because I have ways to play it, but I'm glad that it's out there.
So Nintendo, if you're listening, isn't it about time that DS and 3DS games made their way into something? Don't tell me you can't figure that shit out.
Yeah, no, there is definitely ways to get all this. Like they've got the fucking.
They are going to sell
Virtual Boy
an
for Christ's
adapter. Yeah, they're going to sell an adapter that you connect to your Switch 2. That is the second screen that you flip up. That way you have the bottom touchscreen and you have the top one for the actual game there, and it's going to cost $4.99.
I don't think
Like,
it would be that much. Hopefully, I mean it would be pricey to get another
£4.99
screen.
or $499. Please.
$499. Obviously, I'm not talking like dollars and cents here. It's Nintendo.
Can you imagine
it's
though?
a chip shortage and tariffs.
A man can dream.
Could you imagine having a 3DS that's the size of the Switch 2 screen is really quite large. Like, can you imagine having a second screen?
There are so many games on that thing that deserve to be played by everyone.
Yeah.
DS,
yeah.
3DS.
Yeah, but the problem is they're only going to put a few of the Nintendo staples on there, and all the really good third-party games are going to be inaccessible still.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll see.
I'll settle for that. It's better than nothing.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
that's maybe a topic for Retrobytes.
Hey.
Nah.
No. Brian's like, no, fuck you. You're not on that show. You shut up. All right. Well, speaking of Retrobytes and the other things that we have available, you can find us over at patreon.com/Retrotopia. That's the name of our show. Do you ever listen to so many different things that it's like you almost like spit out the name of some other
Free
podcast?
plug somebody else.
Yeah, free plug someone else. You should listen to a lot of different things, but first you should listen to us. So yeah, patreon.com/Retrotopia. There's the link tree /Retrotopia, and that's where you can find all of our stuff. We're growing, so I know there's people out there listening. The Patreon, there's a free tier, so definitely join. And there's goodies available for a relatively small monetary contribution, and we are adding more every not every day, but we add more stuff. There's plenty of stuff to listen to, so come find us.
Stop putting pressure on us to deliver.
Join us. I know. Like, I
Just
gotta
like
be
me
careful
and
or else I'm gonna
I just
have
like
no
me
time
and
to do
Brian are
anything else.
sitting there and just giving Sam the length of rope to hang himself. Just like,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
you're on your own, buddy. You're
Yeah,
on your
keep
own.
going. And join our Discord, because our Discord is fun and it is also free, and have a lot of fun people in there. And you should also be in there, because I'm assuming that if you're listening to us, you are fun. All right. Yeah, that's all I got. So until next time, get back in my sweaty hat and launch me into the middle of the universe. I don't know. I'm really bad at ending these. So take care, and we'll see you next time for our next game.
I thought it was out of this world. Hi there, everyone. We here at Retrotopia couldn't do what we do without the support of our Patreons. And to that effect, we would like to shout out the heroes at our hero tier. So a huge Retrotopia thank you from all of the hosts here to The Fletchman, Kakarina of Tim, Schnitzel, Peter Brukers, Isaias, Ryan Semke, Guy Who Does Things, Joe Frigger, Shadowblaze511, Dan Torma, Brian Heng, Sharkbite, Brian Spritzer, Ovindley, Shane's World, Brother Retro, H, Raging Demon, Old Man Gamer, Game Genius, Dylan Jacobson, The Big Deal, Mr. Blobbert Blobbertstein, King Hooley III, Calin Higas, Radmac, Fallen Snow Kiku, Stud Still Smash, Sergeant Ombre, Big Brown Dog, Jack Datchler, Unbuckled Cape, Wildcard, Super Dave, Sir Bustsalot, Big Kid 782, David Hendley, Chris Kaplane, J Nasty 15, Because 19, Randy Berridge, Makeshift Money, and Andrew Wright. So thanks as always for your support, guys. It truly means the world to us and means we can keep doing this little thing that we love so much. Game on.